Okay, I just did my makeup in a different video. I'm hoping that video isn't too boring because I wasn't really talking about anything, but this video is not going to be boring because I'm actually going to be talking about something. So, I took a bunch of pictures. Do you want to see? Let's just start off the video by talking about something completely different than what I am actually supposed to be talking about. Yes. Yeah, they're pretty good. I look ridiculous here. No, like, genuinely, I look like flashback Marycore. Like, some food. He heated up some leftovers, so we got a meal for the, you know what I mean, for the thing. Let's get into the food first. Got some salmon. I think this is called chimichurri, the stuff that's on the top, or maybe it's just pesto and I'm an idiot. But we got salmon and rice. Lock in. Everybody lock the fuck in. I'm trying to get some. Alright, so today's topic is things I've been fucking with recently. I have some movies, some books, some music. That's kind of it. I know a lot of people include like scents and stuff like that. They're like, oh, my smell goods and all this. Yeah, bro. I don't got shit, bro. I've been really fucking with shower oil recently, bro. Shower oil, that shit's fire. You might think that that's highlighter, but it's actually just my nose being extremely oily. So, there's that. Let's get into the movies first. I'm gonna talk about some that I've really been like liking, that I like, or something that stuff I've seen recently that I really liked, and then I'm gonna talk about things that I've recently added to my watch list, probably. Number 1, Leon Marin Priest. So, John Paul Belmondo, it's more like Jean Paul, my bad. Jean Paul Belmondo, so bad in this film, so bad. Oh, let's get into the food though, let's get into the eats. Yeah, it's a really relaxed video. I didn't think I was gonna have food. I didn't think he was gonna make me a plate, bro. Outside of me having a crush on Belmondo, it's just a really good movie. I don't want to spoil it, but it is really good. The air just cut off. I don't know if you can hear that. Watch it. It came out in 1961. It was directed by Jean-Pierre Melville. He's also the director of Le Samurai. I haven't seen that yet. I've seen like half of it actually, but I know that's a pretty popular film of his. Number two, Gypsy 83. Dude, fucking loved Gypsy 83, dude. It really made me like inspired to actually like try to do like goth makeup more often. It was one of those things that I liked to do originally, like before I saw it, and when I was in like high school or whatever, but I like recently graduated, and one of the things that I couldn't do was like wear the makeup out in public. I recently got some products that make my base a little better, so I think I can wear it out in public now because my base isn't shit. But I'm also kind of scared of like the stigma around it, you know what I mean? And it's like, girl, like I've been out in like dramatic makeup before, but nothing that like the white base and all that. Like I've never done that, and I want to because I feel like I would enjoy doing it. I like the way it looks, you know what I mean? So I'd like to do it out in public. I'm not going anywhere. I just plan on filming this video and maybe some other stuff. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I didn't plan on doing anything after I did this makeup. It's like 8 o'clock. Like, girl, nobody's going anywhere. But anyway, I really struggled with like wanting to be like, or at least to show the goth side of me more outwardly, because I'm not like one aesthetic or whatever. Like I just kind of label myself alternative. I'm not really one thing, but I really like the goth style, and I like the music and stuff like that, so I wanted to portray that a little bit more, but I never really got that opportunity in high school because I was really insecure and anxious, and so that would have just drawn more attention to myself, and I couldn't handle that. So I never tried to do anything like this at school. Well, I kind of did, but it wasn't this good, because this is the best I've ever done like goth makeup ever. But I didn't have the white base either, and so I cared a lot, you know, and it was one of those things where it was difficult for me to truly express who I was, and now that I've graduated, it's a lot easier. But Gypsy 83 really helped me, because I watched it after I graduated, really helped me realize that like I can just do this, and then if somebody makes fun of me, it's like nobody fucking cares. Like, I like the way this looks, and there's definitely lots of people out there that probably like the way my makeup looks. And there's lots of people out there that probably think I'm a Satanist, and it's like, girl, think what you want. Because what am I gonna do? If they think that, what am I genuinely gonna do? I could be like, yeah, no, I'm not. Or that I'm trying to be white. There's also that too. People might say, oh, you're trying to be white. Okay, bitch, fuck you. Oh. Now that I'm out of high school, we're not worried. Well, I am a little worried, but I want to start fresh, and I want to try to start being myself a little more and do what I want to do, you know?
And for the record, I don't give a flying fuck or a rolling rim job what you or anyone else thinks of me.
I recently watched L'Étranger, The Stranger, the 2025 like version, the one that kind of just dropped. I watched that while I was doing my hair this past time when I was like doing little braids or the twist, whatever. Bro, it was so good. I'm not gonna lie, I think a lot of people don't really like it that much, but for me, it was like, when I was reading the book, that's what it felt like to read the book. Like, the movie was like the perfect adaptation of what it felt like to read the book. And I'm like, dude, how do y'all hate this? Well, actually, it's kind of subjective. Like, all film is subjective, so you could hate it. I don't know. But like, what I'm trying to say is that when I was reading the book, like, that's what it felt like. That was what was playing in my head while I was reading the book. That's what I was visualizing, was that movie. And I was like, that's probably the first time a movie has ever done that, to where I've like read the book and then I've watched the movie and they've like actualized it on screen, and I've genuinely never seen that accurately done before. And that was the first time I ever have. And so of course I'm gonna praise that shit. Like, it was good. It was good. And then I have a couple more that I'm just gonna kind of list off because I don't really have anything to say about them. Or maybe I'll have something to say, I don't know. I watched Coffee and Cigarettes, which is a Jim Jarmusch film, came out in 2003. And it's a bunch of little vignettes of people just drinking coffee and smoking cigarettes, and it's a really cute movie. So I watched that. I watched Angst in 1983. That was inspired by that, like, that serial killer, that real life serial killer or whatever, that like went and killed that family or something like that. I don't know if I should be saying that, but that's what it's inspired by. I don't know. It was really good. I keep thinking about it. I think I gave it like a 3.5. I rated it a 3.5, but I keep thinking about it. Like, it keeps popping up in my mind. Like, because I've never been so like fascinated but repulsed in my life. Or maybe I have, but this is one of the most recent times that I have, and it was a really captivating movie, to be honest. Like, I was very intrigued. I watched 1 Million Yen Girl, which came out in 2008, it's a Japanese movie. It's really fucking good. It's really good. It's very sweet. I relate to the main girl a lot. I feel really bad for her, but I think she's a very real character. And I think the whole story is really real, and it's very heartwarming, and also heart-wrenching at the same time. It's a really beautiful movie. I watched Amateur 1994 with Isabelle Huppert, and yeah, I mean, that's kind of it. There's some other people in there, of course, but I watched it for her mainly, because I just wanted to watch more stuff that had her in it. Ever since I saw The Piano Teacher like 2 years ago, I was like, yes, I have to watch more stuff with her in it. So I watched Amateur. It was okay. It wasn't the best thing ever. I didn't know whether or not I wanted to rate it a 3.5 or a 5, but I ended up giving it a 3.5, I think. But it was a good movie. It was a pretty good movie, so it was pretty solid, you know what I mean? I watched Bride of Frankenstein, which came out in 1935. So it's a sequel to the Frankenstein movie that came out like 1932 or something like that. That was a really good movie. It made me cry. I was so sad. Like, could you imagine, like, oh my god, it was just so fucking sad, because they were just like, he was just trying to like, he couldn't communicate, and it was just, oh my god, it was so sad. I have some thoughts about that movie, and I wrote it in my Letterboxd review. I don't know, but just like, he literally like could not communicate his true feelings or whatever, and they were just burning him and stuff. Well, I mean, he was killing people, but it's like he wasn't doing it on purpose, and I think it's a really, really sad story. I need to read the book. I own Frankenstein, but I haven't read the book yet, so I need to read it. But I've seen both movies, so I need to finish the 2026 version, 2025. When did that movie come out? With like Oscar Isaac and Jacob Elordi. When did that movie come out? 2025? 4? Maybe 2024. I don't know. It came out sometime in the past like 2 years. I need to finish that movie. I've watched like half of it, but I need to finish it with my brother. So yeah. And then I watched Thesis 1996. I think I watched it like last month. Or no, because today is it's July. It's like the very beginning of July. I watched Thesis in May, at the very end of May, and all the other films I watched in June. Dude, Thesis 1996, so fucking good. It's actually my first film that I've ever watched that's entirely in Spanish, which is weird. Like, that's the only movie that I've ever watched that's in Spanish, but it was the only one I've ever seen that's fully in Spanish, and it was the first one. I haven't seen Y tu mamá también. I haven't seen that yet. My camera is about to die. I'm gonna... hello. I just look like a white blob. Okay, we're back focused again. My camera charged, I ate my food. It's like 20 minutes later, and we're out of focus again. Okay, I gotta restart the music. Give me a second. We're gonna talk about the books and the music now. We're gonna get to that portion of the video. I think I yapped enough about the movies and about other things that had nothing to do with movies whatsoever. I keep looking up here at the viewfinder instead of at the camera. I'm gonna try to look at the camera for the rest of the video, but it might be a little difficult for me to do that. Anyway, books. So, I just finished The Plague by Camus. I'm so glad. Okay, here's the thing about the book, is that I stopped about 100 pages into it. So, like, I read 100 pages, like, months ago. Like, maybe in January I read 100 pages. I stopped, and then I came back to the book, like, in June, and I finished it up. I finished the last 200 pages, and it was a really, really good book. And I think it really encapsulates what Camus' philosophy was in, like, so many different ways, like with the plague, and then with the different characters being how people would react to the plague. And having lived through something slightly similar, I feel like it puts a new perspective on it and stuff like that. I kind of want to read what I wrote about it, because I have like a Google sheet where I track my books at. I'm gonna read what I wrote about the book. It's kind of long, so bear with me. This book is especially interesting, having lived through a time period that was similar to the plague in Iran, albeit happening globally. So I was talking about COVID. You could probably name a shit ton of people who behaved the way the characters did, whether they were in denial or were held up on wanting to visit family members but couldn't. It's also interesting to see Camus using Dr. Ryu as a physical manifestation of what he believes all humans should do in face of peril, a desire for humans to confront the absurd of things and not to deny them out of fear. His inclusion of Father Panelou in his original viewings of the disease as a punishment from God, and then later changing when Monsieur. His inclusion of Father Panelou in his original viewings of the disease as a punishment from God, and then later changing when Monsieur Othon's kid died in front of his eyes to a less eager stance that said that it was a test from God instead. A test from God on faith instead, even when his faith was faltering, is incredibly interesting to me. It's Camus' way of questioning religious excuses for human suffering through fiction, which I find incredibly captivating. I read most of this article about the book directly after finishing it, and I think it does a fantastic job of pinpointing the connections between Camus' philosophy, explanations of human behavior, and how he portrayed all of that in his work of fiction, whilst also providing a bit of historical context for the writing of this novel. I read an article and I linked the article. Also, if you hear like popping outside, it's fireworks, because it's July 5th, and so people are still popping fireworks, because you know that's how people are, especially since it's the 250th anniversary of the United States, or not the United States, well yes, in the United States, yes. It's the 250th anniversary, so people are still popping fucking fireworks. Anyway, I did find the story a bit boring at times, specifically the first 100 pages. I dropped the novel for a while strictly because of this, and there were other parts that were somewhat boring, but I guess I just really wanted to get to the culmination of the novel and its ending, and I couldn't allow myself to be bored in the moment. I wanted to get to the ending of the novel, and I couldn't allow myself to be bored in the moment. So, like, I couldn't allow myself to be bored with the characters. That's why I wanted to get to the end so bad. Feeling what the characters felt as the disease was settling into society, which was boredom, you know what I mean? So I didn't want to struggle. I didn't want to sit there and struggle with the characters. That's what I'm thinking was part of the reason why I took so long to finish the book. So I don't think Camus is to blame for this. I think it's my overactive mind and desire for constant dopaminergic stimulation. Reminds me of Tenet, because I watched the first hour and thought it was boring and exposition-y, which it was, but I came back to it a week later and watched the last 2 hours, just like I read the last 200 pages of this, and was overtaken by how much I enjoyed the story. Was mad at myself for forgoing the exploration of said media due to my own ignorance. Thank God I returned. I only have 2 books that I'm going to talk about, because I only finished The Plague and then started another book, and now I'm reading Notes from the Underground. Actually, I have a double copy, so like Penguin Classics released Notes from the Underground and the double as a joined book. As you can see, it's Notes from Underground and the double in one book. And so I've been reading Notes from the Underground because that's the first story that's in there. Oh my god! These motherfuckers and these fucking fireworks. I really, really like the story. It's a good story. I relate to this guy so much. Like, Not necessarily like a lot, but there's some paths of thinking that he has that I find relatable as like an introverted person that's both somewhat like kind of narcissistic or overly confident and insecure at the same time. Like, I'm one of those people and I understand what he's going through. Like, his desire. Also, another thing, I saw a YouTube video. I didn't watch the full thing, but this guy talked, it was a video about Clavicular and Patrick Bateman from American Psycho, and how like the idea of like pleasing people that you don't even like. And I think the Notes from Underground is a perfect example, is another example of trying to please people you don't like. Like, I was literally talking about Clav in my earlier video. I was talking about his busted ass nose job. But while I was doing my makeup, I was talking about his busted nose job, like towards the end of the video. Like, Clav is an example of somebody that's trying to chase validation from people he doesn't even seem to like. Patrick Bateman was trying to chase, he wanted people to like him even though he didn't like those people that he was catering to, like, at all. And then I think this is another example, like, with, I don't know what our character's name is. The underground guy. And him trying to, like, him going, because I'm like, I'm like 2/3 of the way through Notes from Underground, and like him going and trying to him going to that dinner, like self-inviting himself to a dinner he wasn't invited to, and then like foregoing paying his fucking like servant guy just so he could go to the damn thing, like talking about how all the people were ignoring him, and when they were talking to him, like they were making fun of him and shit, and he was eager to like please them and one-up them. Even though he didn't like them at all. Like, he always talks about how he genuinely hates everybody's guts. Like, the Shmerkov guy, he's like fucking boastful and stuff like that. And then there's another guy, there's Shmerkov, my bad. Shmerkov. There's Simonov, which is the guy that he was friends with originally, and that's kind of how he got invited, because he went to Simonov's house. And then there's Trudolyubov, which I fucking hate his name, but that's his name. And him and the other guy always kiss up to Shverkov. For Fitchkin, him too. They both kiss up to Shverkov. And then Simonov is just kind of there because he's kind of like, he hangs out with these dudes, but he's not like kissing up to Shverkov in any way. And then what's our character that we're following, he's like trying to kiss up to everybody, but he also like hates everybody's guts. And so it's like, we're making connections here, you know what I mean? Like, so that's another thing that I really like about the story, because I can relate to trying to impress people or to give off a certain vibe of like superiority to people I don't like, and thinking that I'm like intellectually superior to the people around me. That sounds hella narcissistic, but I don't care. That's reality. Like, when I was in high school, like, that's how I felt. I don't know. The people in my high school weren't like dumb by any means, but I did think I was at least smarter on certain things, and I felt like I had like a sense of maturity in comparison to all the people that I was around. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Like, that's how I felt. Let me see what I wrote. A lot of the things that the main character experiences in his daily life, the feeling inadequate but also feeling like you're more clever than everyone else, and hanging on to small happenings in your life that the other people who experienced said thing don't give a shit about. Oh yeah. That introverted social anxiety thing where like you do something or you say something dumb, or seemingly dumb, and then you just hang on to it for the rest of your life, but the other people that were there genuinely don't give a shit. Like, you're just like, dude, why did I say that? Why did I say that? But everybody else has forgotten about it. When I was in 6th grade, we were doing like a Kahoot, like quizzes kind of thing, and so, you know, you had to make your name, like our teacher told us to make our name like our name, so that she could grade everything, and my computer was lagging, and I was kind of freaking out a little, and I had an account on there, and my account name was Eat Water, and so I was rapidly trying to click the join button because she was about to start it, and my computer was lagging. But I didn't have the time to change my name. It auto-filled my name as Eat Water. And then I was like, oh, damn. I just went ahead and took the quiz. And then afterwards, she yells out. She's like, who's Eat Water? In the class. And I just sat there, and she was like, you're gonna get a 0. She was like, who's Eat Water? And then she asked it several times, you gotta speak up to get your grade. And then she was like, you know what, whoever it is, like, you're gonna get a 0 if you don't speak up. And then I was like, damn. And then I looked to like somebody to my left or something like that, and I was like, yeah, that was me. They were like, you were Eat Water? I was like, yeah. And they were like, you should probably go up there. And I went up there, and she made a huge deal out of it. Like, she was like, oh, like, you're not following instructions or something like that. And I never had any problems with her either. Like, that's the thing. Like, she didn't really know who the hell I was. Like, I never really spoke up in that class because I hated her. I didn't like her. I hated that class. So, and I sat in the back. I was really quiet. I never really spoke to anybody around me, during that class. I was one of the classes where I just didn't have any friends. So, I genuinely didn't speak up at all, and I didn't cause a ruckus or anything, but she was acting like I had done the worst fucking thing in the world, and I genuinely, like, everybody else in that class, she's definitely forgotten about it, but it's one of those things that I will probably never forget about, because it was genuinely so embarrassing. I said it practically sums up my reality and really helps me to name and understand my experiences throughout my life that left me feeling different. The story. It helps me to really, like, it's like hearing somebody, you know, when an author, especially an author that wrote, like, I said I was gonna look in the camera and I fucking stopped doing it. You know when an author, like, back then, like 200 years later, or 200 years ago, 300 years ago, writes something, and what they wrote is, like, really akin to your current feelings, but you didn't know how to put it into words, and then you read somebody's words from 200 years ago, and all of a sudden they're, like, putting what you are thinking into words. Like, that's such a great feeling. That's why I love reading classics, and I think Notes from the Underground is really helping me to, it's really allowing me to be a little bit more self-aware, especially of my patterns of behavior that I went through, like, or that I go through. It's really, really helpful. It's a really nice read. It's nice to, like, read about somebody that you can relate to, so. So that's the books portion. I just talked for 15 minutes. Okay. We're gonna talk about music. This section will probably be shorter because I just wrote a couple songs, a couple of artists. I didn't really write too much for this section, but I wrote Bauhaus on there. I really love Bauhaus, especially since I watched Gypsy 83. I've been listening to a lot more goth music, and I recently finished listening to all of their albums. I had already heard 3 of their albums, but I had to listen to the final 2. I listened to the last 2 recently at work, and they are one of my favorite goth bands, to be real. And then I watched Night of the Demons recently. Hated that fucking movie. It was the most misogynistic thing I've ever seen in my life. Apparently it's a cult classic. I get why it's a cult classic, but it wasn't good. The experience was a 5 out of 5, but the movie itself was, like, genuinely, like, negative. Because I watched it with my brother, and we were just clowning on it the entire time. In Night of the Demons, there's, like, a famous dance scene with the goth girl that's there, and she dances to a Bauhaus song, and I ended up figuring out what Bauhaus song she was dancing to. And that was cool. I forgot what the fuck it's called. It's like Stigmata something. Okay, I'm gonna name a couple of songs. Coney Island Baby by The Excellence. I've been listening to that a lot. Desire Machine by Spirit Blue. Carnival by the Cardigans. The Silent Hill soundtrack. The Silent Hill 2 soundtrack. Specifically, the songs White Noise and Prisonic Fairy Tale. Reunion by Korea Girl. Arabesque by Lily Choo Choo. You know, like the movie? Yeah. I find that so cool. The fact that, like, the soundtrack for the movie is the fake artist that's in the movie. And so, like, you can go and, like, instead of listening to the movie soundtrack, you go and listen to the artist from the movie, but it's really the movie soundtrack. I don't know. You get it. You get it. If you've seen the movie, you get what I'm saying. I find it cool that we can listen to Lily Choo Choo's music like she's a real artist. I find that really cool, so. But I love Arabesque. I love Arabesque by Davinci, too. Of course, that's what it was based on, of course. And I said of course like 80 times. I also just love Debussy, so. Yeah, I think he's probably my favorite, like classical composer, even though I've only heard, like, 2 songs. I gotta lock in. I'm, like, LARPing. I'm LARPing him, I guess. I've been listening to a lot of The Caretaker, bro. The Caretaker's so good. I don't know if you can hear this music playing in the background, but it's all, like, older, like, 70s, 60s, 80s stuff. I think it's, like, 60s and 70s. Some of it is 40s, some of it is 20s, I think. But it's all, like, older shit. And this is what The Caretaker does, is he'll take songs like this, and he'll kind of make, like, he'll make it ambient a little bit. He said, I think The Caretaker based the entire project off of, like, The Shining, and off of the ballroom scenes, like the golden scenes in The Shining, and those are my favorite scenes in The Shining, besides that very end of the movie. The scene where Midnight, the Stars, and You is playing in the background, and It's All Forgotten Now is playing in the background. Oh my god. I fucking love Al Bowley. How do you say his name? Al Bowley? Al Bowley? It might be Bowley. Al? Bro, I love that guy. Freaking love that freaking guy. And so, like, hearing that in The Caretaker, and then watching, I rewatched The Shining, like, several months ago, and then listening to Al Bowley, or however the frick you say his name, bro. Oh, it just all comes together, like, For Whom the Bell Tolls, from the Donnie Darko soundtrack. It's the song that plays during the movie theater scene, where he's like staring at there's a portal that opens up the movie theater scene, and Gretchen's asleep. And he's like, "Why are you wearing that stupid bunny suit? Why are you wearing that stupid man suit?" That scene, yeah, best scene in the movie, by the way. One of like the top 10 movie scenes of all time, probably, for me at least. It's subjective, okay, but this is the song that plays during it, and that's one of the reasons why it's the best movie scene ever, is because of the song. Once Upon a Time and Illusionary Daytime. I think it's called Illusionary Daytime. I might have like conflicted the songs together. It is called Illusionary Daytime. Let me play it. This song, that song, yeah. And then this other song. This song. If you locked in on TikTok, you know the songs. Those two songs. Sleep When I'm Dead by The Cure. Gotta love that freaking song. Oh, I was gonna talk about, I never did. I was gonna talk about my YouTube, or my movie watch list. I recently hit 1,000 followers on Letterboxd. Follow me on freaking Letterboxd. I'm gonna plug it. I'm gonna plug my freaking Letterboxd. Go ahead and follow me on Letterboxd. Anyway, we're gonna talk about the watch list, because I'm feeling that. I said I started La Samurai earlier. I gotta finish that movie. I want to watch Phantom of the Opera. You know, the version with what's her name, Emma Rossum, I think. I want to watch To Kill a Mockingbird, the one with the movie with Gregory Peck in it. I need to finish La Quinoise. Oh my god, I need to finish La Quinoise. I think it's La Quinoise, not La Quinoise. I gotta finish La Quinoise so bad. It's a good art film. And I plan on watching like some of the movies that started the Nouvelle Vague movement. So like I think the Nouvelle Vague movement, I think it was inspired by the film Little Fugitive. That's what Truffaut wrote, and Francois Truffaut, I think that's what he wrote. But there's Le Beau Serge, there's La Pancarte, there's the 400 Blows, and I need to watch those films because I think they were like kind of the beginning of French New Wave, and I love French New Wave. There's this movie that Alain Delon and Jean-Paul Belmondo are in called Borzellino. Didn't even know they were in a movie together. Absolute cinema. It's probably a mid-movie, but they'll both make it better, you know? I started Chunking Express and I need to finish it. I'm one of those people that starts movies and then finishes them way later, but I have a good memory, so that helps. I started Song to Song, and I need to finish that. It has Rooney Mara, Natalie Portman, Michael Fassbender, and Ryan Gosling in it. Holy cast. Apparently Michael Fassbender is an abuser. Didn't know that originally. Like, I was talking about how he was like top five like actor bad shits, but then I figured that out and I was like, oh yikes. Yeah, I didn't know about that. So he's not as, you know, he takes him down a peg. Takes him down a lot of pegs actually. Don't want to get canceled. I don't support abusers, dude. I said the word. Kill me. Shoot me. There's a movie called Bed and Board, and I saw, oh my god, Letterboxd. 500 internal server error. Oh, we're back. There's a movie called Bed and Board. It's a Truffaut movie, apparently. I just looked at it. Jean-Pierre Léaud. Jean-Pierre? Yeah. Jean-Pierre Léaud is in it. And there's this, he falls in love with this, he was like married to some girl and she's pregnant, but then he falls in love with an Asian girl, and the Asian girl was so pretty. I saw a screenshot on TikTok of the two of them together, and I was like, oh my god, she's so fucking gorgeous. She's so gorgeous. So yeah. And I want to watch Stalker. It's like number 69, 68 or something like that on the Letterboxd Top 500 list. Gotta get into that. Letterboxd is being so slow right now. Just don't even load it. Just don't even load it because you fucking hate me. I get it. 8.5 I need to watch. But yeah, that's kind of the watch list. I hope you enjoyed the video. It's just me talking maybe for like 30 minutes. I don't know how long this video is going to end up being after I edit it, but I've recorded for like genuinely 40 minutes, so I'm probably not going to cut much out because I speak kind of fast and I talk about a lot of stuff, and so I'm just going to keep everything in because why would I try to filter myself by trying to do a bunch of cuts? Why would I do that? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. I can't wait to film more stuff. I took a little break from YouTube. I don't know, you can kind of tell. But I took a break from YouTube. I tried filming for a different channel. I think I already explained, or I said some of that in my other video I was making, or while I was doing my makeup. And it's kind of, it's just so difficult to try to like continue filming when nobody really watches you, but I kind of need to push past that. And then also, YouTube is one of those platforms that tries to push creators into a niche, especially when you're trying to get like popular or you're trying to get an audience. You have to like continuously upload in a niche, and the only time you can actually upload what you want is after you get an audience. But I can't. If I try to limit myself like that, like, I'm never gonna make any content. So I'm trying to, you know, get better at doing what I want and doing things regardless of whether or not I have an audience, because I like making videos and I like talking about things, and I like editing. I like the whole process of it. It's just difficult for me to put things out when I feel like nobody's watching, because it's like, oh, nothing pays off. But I think I want a community, but it's also like I really enjoy filming and editing and showing my work off. And there's, even if nobody watches, like, I want to be able to look back on these things as like an archive of my life. So that's another reason why I'm making the videos, is as an archive for myself later down the road. I need to keep thinking about those types of goals instead of like community goals. The other stuff will come later. I just need to be passionate about what I'm doing currently. Anyway, nobody fucking cares. Nobody cares. But I'm just, maybe if you're trying to have your own, or make your own YouTube channel, and you're struggling with this as well, try to think of a reason outside of trying to get famous for doing the content, and the famous, or people will watch later. Just be who you are, you know what I mean? Be who you are. Keep making content even if nobody's watching, because you like doing it. Like, truly like making the content, and worry about making the content, and then you'll have, people will come later. Like, and even if they don't, who fucking cares? You can look back on these videos and be like, I did this with my time. I put all this time into this. I can look back on what I was doing when I'm older, and say that I tried, and that's always good. You know what I mean? My camera's my camera's gonna die any day now, so I'm gonna kind of go. Yeah. Okay, dude. Like, okay.